In our continuing series of GeoFessr expeditions, we have Botswana. So we have our usual settings. Okay, and so we have our location. So this is pretty generically Botswana. I mean, that's probably the first thing I would actually think upon seeing this. If I didn't know the country already. Um, that it's tends to be drier and wilder than South Africa is, or other southern African countries. Um, and and there are not that many major roads, so that so it looks like this is an east-west road, very straight, like what's that? Um, just a plant. Um, Okay, you can see this is not, completely in the wild because of the fence posts here. Uh, that this probably is actually a ranch. Um, I guess, in southern Africa, I guess, like the place where the ranch is based, is called a kraal, right? That from Afrikaans. Um, so what we're seeing here, and I think we'll get this in, multiple round. Okay, yeah, there's the entrance to, you can see that there's a vehicle track going off that way. Um, no signs or anything. Okay, so this is roughly an east-west road. You should always, for Botswana, like think of this road, which I think that this, I mean, clearly that it's not here. Um, I think it could be, it could even be out here, I mean, this is pretty dry. Yeah, so there's almost everything is around this loop. Um, and then, there's a road up to Namibia up this way. Um, but yeah, it looks like we have, no clues at all other than landscape and, yeah, so it was doing a little bit of the cha-cha-cha there, with the, thing not advancing right. But I think in this round we're not going to find anything. Um, which, for a country as sparsely populated as Botswana is something that you would expect to find, right? Are these very long segments of road. Um, I guess how you tell this is not Australia is that just none of the plants look like Australia, like this is it's mostly, sort of a experience sort of thing, but like especially like that tree, looks like Africa. You know, there's something about the way that this looks that is very not Australia. Um, okay, so we've been stuck in the middle of nowhere again. Um, which, that's Botswana for you, that whole lot of nowhere. Um, yeah, so we have Thule Safari Lodge, private. Um, those sorts of things are often on the map, that they're, you know, uh, they're obviously have to be visible to tourists. And okay, let's see, Thule Safari Lodge. I'm going to guess that this is in the north. I don't really know, too much about why, but yeah, I don't see a do a quick check to see if there's a Thule on the map. Yeah, I don't think there is. I think that a lot of the safari business in Botswana goes, is in the north. It goes out of Mon, the only large towns that in Botswana that is really off of this road. Um, and this area also, most of it's the area with more minority ethnicities. That most, there's a lot of people that are not Botswana people, ethnically. Um, yeah, actually, it's the one Tswana person is Motswana, and then plural Tswana people is Botswana with an A, Batswana. And so all, when you do find language, which we found on only that one sign, it's usually in English. I have seen here and there some Setswana signs in Botswana, but there aren't a whole lot of them. And um, I guess what I'd say about like most of what you'll see in Setswana are names of towns, roads, um, businesses, that sorts of thing. Um, okay, so it was over in this corner. Okay, uh, Northern Thule Game Reserve. Yeah, that was what it said. It was the Thule. Yeah. Hmm. Okay. And we have another. Okay, so this is a big road. I mean, like this is probably, in fact, the big road, that runs basically from Cape Town to Harare. Um, this is the same corridor as roughly as the railroad track, if that's true, right? Um, yeah. Oh, yeah. That this is something that's in Botswana that's unusual is these little tiny narrow chevrons, that except that those aren't don't have the normal function of road chevrons because this road is completely straight, um, uh, making them, I guess, bollards. I don't know, that they're yeah. Okay, so yeah, so from the orientation, yeah, that's the main road. Um, or wait, actually, maybe not. Um, yeah. Hmm. It could be, yeah, I'm thinking maybe it's the A2 here, like we can put it somewhere around Kanye. Um, um, third round in a row with a completely rural location, just us and nature, like I guess this is kind of ASMR GeoGuessr, right? Like none of those harsh urban areas, here, not don't need to worry about language, like it sort of has some of the same appeal as if you've seen the NCNC NMPZ ARW format, like where you can't move it, you can't there's no compass, all of the rounds are rural, it's designed so that all you can do is look at a lands at a natural or nearly natural landscape and it's got the road in it, of course, but and try to guess where it is. Um, and yeah, like a lot of Botswana rounds are definitely kind of like that, except that that you can move around, and it still doesn't get you anywhere. Um, okay, we've got a painted barrel on what? Yeah, that's odd. Um, okay, so there's this guy's house. Yeah, this is what houses in Botswana typically look like. Um, yep. Oh wow, a stop sign. For what? It was near Kanye. Wow, that was unexpected. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, so I guess that that this is an example of some place that was off the main road that, also is a pretty good looking road. But yeah, that here. as you go in this direction, it heads out into more sparsely populated areas and kind of, like, that the road becomes less like that. Um, so a few other remarks about the Setswana language, that there's no G sound in it. And so you may be wondering what the capital is called then, is that this is pronounced Gaborone. So G is pronounced H in Setswana, and and then that there's actually places, like for instance here, the Makadakadig Pans National Park, um, that KG is, you still pronounce the G that way, even like this, so the combination KG is pronounced K. Um, and mostly, mostly it behaves, like, um, that compared with other Southern African languages, Setswana has a fairly normal, I mean, fairly European at least, like set of sounds. So, if you, for instance, the letters C, Q, and X are used in Southern African languages to write clicks, and those are not found in Setswana. Um, and also, quite a few of the other unusual Southern African consonants are not found there. There is the KG consonant I mentioned, is found in Setswana. There's also, there's TL. TL is pronounced T, and that so you'll see the T consonant in names in Botswana. I also noticed in the north, when I zoomed in, there are actually some place names with X's in them. Uh, so these presumably are in some language other than Setswana, and that in Botswana, I think clicks are mostly used in Khoisan languages. Languages like Klung, Jutlan. You've never heard of them probably. Um, and the best known Khoisan language is the Nama language, or called Kwekwe, or uh, which was spoken around Cape Town and is still spoken in southern Namibia and adjacent parts of South Africa. And that language was originally, by colonists, was called Hottentot because it was an onomatopoeic name. It was what they sounded like. Um, but so yeah, so that here, Plane, that is a non-Setswana place name. As I said, probably from a Khoisan language. Also in the north, um, there are there are also Bantu minority languages in northern Botswana that resemble the ones in Namibia and Angola. Um, but so as I said, that you don't actually, you see surprisingly little uh, indigenous language in Botswana. That most signs are in English. Okay. Um, Again, looks like we may go through the whole stream without being in town. Um, yeah. Okay. So this is, yeah. Is this even a road? Um, okay. So it's north south. Hmm. Yeah, it looks like there's a lot of bush here, but that it's very that it's very non-desertish. So I think maybe it's not near Namibia, but it's still pretty dry. I'm wondering if I should guess in the north again. Um, yeah, it's close to a north-south orientation. Could be over here. Um, yeah, there's there's nothing out here. This is just a jeep trail next to that fence. Um, Ooh, I have a viewers now. Um, okay. Um, is there anything here? Probably not. Um, yeah, again, I think from the appearance, probably, you know, yeah, I don't know. Actually, yeah, this is actually pretty green, like that there's, yeah, yeah, I should have looked up a rainfall map, like before starting this, because I'm wondering, like I think maybe it is actually, higher up here, that, yeah, I'm wondering maybe it could even be up here. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that, like just to, we'll see if that actually works. Um, but yeah, this is some very long road, certainly. We've probably gone a few kilometers in these clicks and not found anything. Okay, yeah, so it was northern, but not that far north. It was so here. There's these. This area right here is called the Okavango Delta, and that what happens is that there's a river flowing into Botswana from this part of Angola. Uh, then it makes up the part of the Angola Namibia border here. And then that what happens is that it runs out into the desert. Um, and never reaches the ocean. Like so there's where the water collects at the end. There's intermittent lakes and things, and in places salt pans, and that there's this is the sort of the best known park area in Botswana. And there's that KG sound, which is unusual. Well, it's not unusual for Southern Africa, but so this is pronounced Makadikadi, and so that the G is pronounced H. Um, and where it gets that actually is that's how G is pronounced in Afrikaans. Um, okay. Yeah, so we've gone through the entire first game. It looks like, that unless I can walk into town somewhere here. Yeah, so it's paved, it's lower quality. Um, let's look at the direction. Yeah, it is the right direction to be the main road. Um, you know, uh, yeah, that maybe they haven't fixed this part lately. But yeah, that it looked like it was asphalted and then worn down. Um, okay, so what do I think? Yeah, it's still kind of grassy. Yeah, and this main road here, the A1, as I mentioned, that it was the old railroad route through there, and that the reason why the railroad wasn't built through South Africa is that it actually came from before the Second South African War. That they actually wanted to um, not have the Boer republics controlling part of their route from Cape Town, to the rest of Africa, and so um, that in coming up with some way, like to stop the Afrikaners from taking their railroad route, um, the British did. a separate deal with the Tswanas, where it would be a different colony outside of South Africa. Well, I mean, South Africa did not exist yet because they hadn't fought the Second South African War, um, where the British annexed the Boers. Um, but yeah, so as a result, that Botswana was never part of South Africa, and the British also did essentially the same thing with Lesotho and Eswatini, um, which then, yeah, as I mentioned from the chat, yeah, I mean, these streams, I sort of, talk like this about, um, we have cow crossing. Okay, so there's actually features in this landscape. Well, if it is the main road, you would expect someone to live out here. Um, okay, so it was not the main road, it was up here. So it wasn't even on a yellow road, which, there's sort of, often those are not covered. But yeah, that the that then so for the railway, then, when they that then that the British took over the what they called Rhodesia up here, um, which was beyond the Boer republics, and that then, that the railroad line to it went through this area, that they made a separate colony, so that it could be guarded from the Boers. And then eventually the Boer republics were eliminated, because the British decided that they couldn't let them have all the gold just because they stole the land first. That okay. So and this is, because of the difficulty of the rounds you get. Botswana is a difficult map, 8,774 points. Um, I have a bronze on this one. It's like 13,000 or something that I played it before. Yeah, 12,730. Okay. Um. So, um. So it gets another game. That I'm probably not. I'm going to do two on this one. It doesn't get three games like a major country does, but boy, this looks like almost exactly like the previous round. That's not the same sign. Um, yep. Potholes. Yeah, something someone was pointing out recently, is that, sometimes you can look at the kind of road wear and tell things about climate, like you would, that this is a road that clearly is never freezing, or, not. And here, yeah, so, yeah, this is something that you find in Botswana a lot, is that, often there isn't a whole lot of fencing. And, that here, there's that the horse is just by the side of the road. If we could see that sign, that would be great. It says something unit, and it's blurred out. What's it even pointing at? That can you go that way? Maybe there's a turnoff some distance ahead. Oh, here we have a sign. Oh, Makani Pans National Park, Kumaga Entry Gate. Okay, so now we finally have a location, and it's one that I previously mentioned. Okay, so Kumaga Entry Gate, 4 kilometers. Okay, here, it's written with an X, so, like, yeah, I can believe that Klumaga is the same place. Um, yeah, oh yeah, it's written inconsistently here. It's KHU. Um, yeah, I don't know. Maybe the signs were designed by people that didn't know Setswana. Um, yeah, that or well, whatever the local language is here, because as I mentioned, the X indicates that yeah, there. Okay, so there's Kumaga entrance. We have 4 kilometers that way. Yeah, so that's 4 kilometers to the east. East? No. Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay. Uh, so I didn't really pin it down, but 2.7 kilometers on a Botswana map is very good. Okay. Ooh, I didn't even know they had roads like this in Botswana. Have they stuck us in South Africa? Yeah, this has got to be. I'm thinking this has got to be Gaborone or close to it, right? You know, if they have roads like this. Um, okay, so this is the South African style sign. I don't know if they have these in Botswana or not. We have A1 Mahalapye one direction and Gaborone the other direction. A1 is here. Okay, where's Mahalapye? Oh, Mahalapye, right? Um, there. Okay, so we're in between. I would say we're probably closer to the south end, you know, given that we have a 4 lane divided highway. You know, it's still got, it doesn't it isn't, like interstate quality because, it has, for instance, crossroads, uh, instead of exits. But, it's clearly, one of the bigger roads in Botswana. Oh, look at that termite mound. All right. Rasesa. Um, there's Rasesa. Um, okay, we have. So this looks like it's kind of the main entrance to this place. Are those like Jeep trails and things? Yeah, so I'm thinking we're here. I mean, no, that's a bigger entry. Um, Sort of interesting that the main entrance is not in the middle of the village. Um, oh, that yeah, okay. And so then this is part of, there's this larger town Motrudi here. Um, yeah, that's interesting. There's a C in it, which ordinarily is reserved for clicks. I'm thinking that, maybe in Setswana they use CH instead of TSH there to or it could simply be pronounced Matludi. It could be a non-Setswana name, but like I think in this location, the population will almost be heavily Botswana, and also the Botswana people live also a majority of them live in South Africa, either in I think they're mostly in Northwest Province here, and continuing into Northern Cape over here. Um, you'll notice Kimberley is in Northern Cape and not in Orange Free State, like there's a whole history there that is kind of outside of Botswana, that therefore out. But essentially, that the route northward into from Cape Town to toward Harare, that that Kimberley was the diamond mines here were the first place that it went to, right? And that the diamond mines obviously also had to be kept out of the hands of the Boer republics, and so that at first when they first started mining there that it was um, that to the that the area was considered by the Cape Colony to be part of something called Griqua land, and the Griquas were a a group of Christian Africans that spoke Afrikaans, that had taken over the area, and then that obviously you couldn't let black people have the diamonds because they stole the land first, and so then it was annexed by Cape Colony to make sure that Britain stole it, and not the Boers, and then that the route into Botswana then continued northward from there to Rhodesia, which then of course, Rhodesia was named after Cecil Rhodes, who was the mining boss at Kimberley. Was essentially one of the founders of the Anglo-American mining company, and that the that diamond cartel. Um, okay, so we have there are diamonds in Botswana, that they actually coordinate with the cartel to keep prices up. The economics of diamond mining being, kind of a bizarre thing. Where there's um, this whole arrangement to keep them kind of off the market. Um, And I've got to say, to the extent that I think people should want diamonds at all, maybe we should consider artificial ones. And I have this suspicion that, that the artificial ones in the future will just keep dropping in price, and eventually the whole thing will be kind of silly. Um, okay, that we have yeah, again, like this is very not Australia. And I guess the main way that you would learn that is just through experience, right? I mean, I don't really know how to describe how this is so not Australia. Um, yeah, so I think we've still not. I mean, I guess we sort of had an urban round, right? When we had it was next to that town near Gaborone. Um, the other large town in Botswana, other than Gaborone, is Francistown, um, and near near Zimbabwe, and the Caprivi Strip, that extends to the east from Namibia. Yep, and so we have yeah. Look at that. You can barely tell there's a road there. I mean, you can tell from the clearance, that there's someone keeping the sort of Veld Desert stuff from encroaching onto the road. There's a dog, so somebody must live near here. Um, right. Um, I remember I have seen a hyena on Street View before. It was around somewhere near Cape Town. That's interesting. That looks like mistletoe. Um, yeah. So how am I doing? I guess all right. I have been doing other things that have kept me from streaming, and yeah, I forgot to make a guess. Okay, so that one, it being drier environment, it was okay. So this area then is pretty dry looking like this. I guess you would expect that it being near Namibia. Um, and as I said, a lot of the safari sort of stuff, if you run into that, is up here. Um, yeah, so I mentioned Francistown before. That's here, right? Like near the near the Zimbabwe border. Um, I guess actually I thought Francistown was near the Caprivi Strip. It's not. This is at least, like probably 300 or 400 kilometers here, right? That Botswana is very big. Where am I from? Upstate New York, United States. Not particularly near New York City. About halfway to Toronto, actually. 120. Yeah, this road is fast. Yeah, that is this the main road? Um, yeah, again, it's not the right orientation for the main road. Um, yeah, so A1 there. Yeah, again, I'm thinking, maybe A2 near Kanye, is the other possibility, right? Um, what do I think? Kanye East or Kanye West? Yeah, I'll go with Kanye West last time. That was actually where it was before. Um, oh, we've got a sign. Machakola, Mokuwana. Yeah, there's the t sound that I mentioned. Actually, TLH, yeah, wondering that must be something slightly different from TL without an H. Um, hmm, thinking about other things in that direction. Nope, I don't think it's near Cloakwing. This is obviously a top road of some kind, right? Um, yeah, there's definitely, those look like Setswana should be, right? There's no weird weird letters in it. Just the TLH. That's completely normal. Oh, there's a born there. Uh, hmm, can't read it. Let's see. So those villages are down that road and not easily visible. Um, oh, this is another one of those South African style road signs. A1 Palapie, A1 Gaborone. So we're on the where's that's Mahalapie. Oh, Martin's Drift I've seen before. Where is that? That's yeah. Okay. So we weren't on the A1. We were on this thing to the side, right? Does it give a name when it no, not doesn't have a name when we zoom in on it. Yeah. Yeah, so those green signs there and just everything about that last intersection, looked very South African. That there was that particular green sign, that style of white lettering, it had A1 on it in yellow letters, for the major route name. Um, and I think in South Africa they don't have, I don't know if they have roads with A, that clearly in Botswana that's the designation for the big roads. I think they like are better in South Africa. Is that Impala Crossing? Okay. I'm not an expert on southern African antelopes. I know that there are, several different ones that, you know, I just randomly picked an Impala. It could be a Springbok or whatever the other kinds are. Um, okay, so this, as the last round, we've had a total of maybe one urban round in this game, and most of them have not had anything particularly visible. Okay, so we've got we've got hills in the background. I don't know where they have those in Botswana, actually. Um, I was under the impression that the country was pretty flat. Um, so this will be interesting to see where it is. Um, oh, there was a sign there that had little writing on it. Slow man barrier gate ahead. Okay. Okay, so we have a checkpoint. Limpopo, Lipati Game and Wilderness Reserve. Limpopo is the province at the northern end of South Africa, and the river that separates South Africa from Zimbabwe and also from Botswana. Okay, so we have Limpopo, Lipati, um, right there. Uh, this is a front gate. Um, does that say no loitering? That's interesting. Got you a uniform here. Okay. Um, nice little hut. Um, let's see. So the direction into the park is that side. Um, hmm. Okay, so it was over near Baines Drift. Wait, wasn't that in the previous round? Yeah. Okay, so I guess now I got a silver. All right, that's so I've improved my game, gone from a bronze to a silver, and yeah, silver is not easy on that. Yeah, 15,377 points, and I did not guess in one round. Um, okay. Um, yeah, not guessing, like these are not highly competitive, like this is really an educational stream. And so that the next installment in the series, again, we go forward in alphabetical order. And so the next after BW that is a real country is that's in GeoGuessr is CA, Canada. And also, I would like to come back, in a little bit. I'll be doing a stream that's not for this series. Is something else that I had been thinking about. All right.